From complaints of headache to a medication that left her leg paralyzed.
That's the story of a 17-year-old Deborah Owusu-Yao, whose visit to the hospital became a nightmare after an injection administered rendered her left leg paralyzed. Joy News' Faustina Safo has more in the following report.
She was rushed to the hospital at night by her mother after she complained of severe headache at the tender age of 2. But little did 17-year-old Deborah Owusu-Yao know that night marked the beginning of her nightmare.
My legs
began to swell a few days after the injection I had at the clinic. Apparently, the injection needle had pricked my bone. The doctor said nothing can be done about it.
In 3 days' time, her right leg began to swell. Noticing the scary development, her mother went to the hospital seeking answers, but the harm caused by medical negligence was irreversible.
Growing up, I used crutches. I was then referred to the Volta region to undergo a corrective surgery. On arrival, we were informed the doctor had moved to Kumasi.
Deborah has undergone 3 corrective surgeries. Her walking aid, which costs 150 Ghana cedis, ought to be changed every 3 months, but due to lack of money, she uses them for as long as 2 years.
They had to perform multiple surgeries because of the state of my leg. After the first surgery, I kept bleeding, and the doctor said they might have to cut my leg off, but advised we pray. After the second surgery, the bleeding ceased. Then I was given a walking aid.
After the death of her father 5 years ago, her mother had to use her life savings to foot her medical bills. With no money left, Deborah was forced to drop out of junior high school. Vida Mensah is Deborah's aunt.
Now going to school is a worry to her. Sometimes I have to engage her in a conversation to cheer her up.
Deborah's dream is to become a presenter, but it seems like a distant one in her present state.
I need assistance to change my shoes, learn a trade, or if possible, go back to school.
Faustina Safo for News Generation.
Very difficult situations people find themselves. And some residents of Ogomez, a suburb of Somanya in the Eastern region, they've threatened to buy guns to protect themselves from incessant armed robbery attacks that keep happening in their community.
According to the residents, every passing day appears to bring a new robbery case on the streets of Agoma. 3 shops, including a Coca-Cola depot, have been raided in the last few days. The recent crime wave has residents questioning the ability of the police to find a solution to the problem. Lativi Tris has more.
Ogome was a relatively peaceful community until 3 weeks ago when incidences of armed robbery began to increase. The robbers have been relentless in their attacks on the community and its environs, leaving residents scared and worried. A manager of the Coca-Cola shop here, the latest place to be robbed, recounted to Joy News how he lost over 8,000 Ghana cedis.
Guys told me that they went to Sales and kept some money inside their drawer here. And the next day, before they came to the shop, they saw that the shop has been open and somebody has took the money from the drawer.
The frustrated residents believe the inaction of the police is to blame for the crime wave. Somanya District Command, under whose jurisdiction the Ogome community falls, has placed surveillance on 4 ex-convicts who finished serving their terms in the Akuse prison last December. The command believes these guys might be linked to the recent crime wave within Ogome and its environs. The district commander, ASP Isaac Oting, has been telling us how the police intends to fish out these individuals to make Ogome safe again.
Information that we are having shows that, and from our own statistics, from our observation and my intelligence, prior to their release to town, the whole town, so many times, was very calm. Crime activity were low as well, but since they were released, we have the pocket of criminal activities going on. And for now, I cannot link it directly to the 4. But I believe that their presence has something to do with it. Either being motivation to those who are around, or they see them as their heroes who are operating around their name. But since they are released, they have a very low crime rate. But since after they are released to the town, the criminal activity is on increase. Not as much as we think, but the pocket of criminal activity, we believe it might be linked to their release in town. Either they are motivated or they are recruiting new boys to do it, but we will not yet get them direct as those 4, but we believe that they are operating around the roads for that they came to town. That we believe that there is a small pocket of criminal activities in town.
Some of the frustrated residents say arming themselves is the surest way of ending the criminality. This was exactly where the robbers cut and they made their way into the container and made away with her monies and some goodies in this container. And she's been telling us how terrified residents in this community are.
When I came here, we are in fine. But nowadays, we are facing a lot of problems, like Arombi. If you are saying something or you are asleep, the young guys and the people, they don't want to work. So they will come and thief you. If you are not clever, they will teach you. For me like this, they catch my store before. And I went to police station to report there. They say that unless I bring the fellow that he steal me. nga wenya to pepepepepepe acho lo minimi das pio no le ni pepeji inga skala en ma hetu ika no ko bi police station ya ki no le ika no ya police station police o ma ba na ba ke front ka ke ho.
What you are saying is that you are planning to get a gun.
Yes. I'll buy my
and now you'll be killing this.
Yeah, if I see you, I'll kill you. That's all. Then I'll go sleep quietly. Morning, then they can't take the dead body. Finish. They don't know the person where he kill him because he be criminal.
An opinion leader and former assembly member of the area, Comfort Mamle Okine, is however urging the police and the residents to work closely together to find solution to the crime wave.
We want the police to help us because the crime is still going on. And there are a lot of robberies, especially the mango farms. You know, we have a lot of the mangoes here. We grow them here. At night, they go to people's farm with cars and all that to harvest it, to steal them.
Until the police finds and prosecute the 4 ex-convicts at the center of the crime wave, residents of Ogome and its environs would continue to be at the mercy of the criminal gangs. Latif Idris, Joy News, Ogome, Somanya in the eastern region.
Well, Latif Idris with that story from Somanya, and it's from the community of Ogome. Now let's go to the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, and something interesting is happening there. Encroachers, and they encroach along rail lines in the capital, Kumasi, but currently are appealing to the Akufo-Addo-led government to help them relocate.
The appeal comes on the back of the Railways Development Minister's pledge to ensure that people living along rail lines in the country would be made to move. Joe Gate told members of Parliament's appointment committee when he took his turn at the vetting last week that as difficult as it may seem, they would have to clear the encroachers so they can revive the rail service.
The way we are with encroachment, a combination of litigation and negotiation. But I've made the point time and time again that even though I'm a lawyer, litigation is not an option in terms of that I particularly like, because it can take time and it brings bad blood. There are two schools of thought to deal with the encroachment. Some people have argued that instead of spending all your time trying to pass through an area which has been encroached, why don't you create a new path? For example, you go to the outskirts of the town or village and maybe do a short branch to the town, but that's one school of thought. And there are the traditionalists who are against you leaving the traditional alliance. The second Kojo-Krom Takoradi line passed through my constituency, and there's a place called Bakado, and there was a question of encroachment. The way we always deal with encroachment, a combination of litigation and negotiation. But I've made the point time and time again that even though I'm a lawyer, litigation is not an option in terms of that I particularly like, because it can take time and it brings bad blood. There are two schools of thought to deal with the encroachment. Some people have argued that instead of spending all your time trying to pass through an area which has been encroached, why don't you create a new path? For example, you go to the outskirts of the town or village and maybe do a short branch to the town, but that's one school of thought. And there are the traditionalists who are against you leaving the traditional alliance. The second Kojo-Krom Takoradi line passed through my constituency, and there's a place called Bakado, and there was a question of encroachment involving a mosque. And in fact, I have a confession to make. I took a lawyer for them, for my constituents, to fight against Ghana Railway Corporation. Little did I know that I'll be sitting in this chair. But we ended up negotiating, and they moved the line a bit, so the mosque is still there. It's negotiation. It's people understanding that it's to the benefit of all of us. And so a lot of my time I can see will be sitting down with people and just pleading with them and negotiating with them. People have built story buildings near the rail, are able to pull down the story building. And so it's a difficult, it's a very difficult message. But we'll also cooperate with the city authorities, the various district assemblies and so on. We shall work together. I don't have a straight answer, but what I can tell you is that I will do my best, work my hardest, and cause the least possible damage to life and property. No.
And since these encroachments are related to rail lines across the country, we decided to send our reporter in Kumasi, Erastus Asari-Donko, to visit the Kumasi Central Business District, where scores of residents have since taken over the rail lines there over the years. Indeed, it's been 10 years since the last train left the city for Takoradi, and the area has become a haven for criminals.
This is the Central Business District of Kumasi. To my left is Adum, and to my right is the Roma Hill and Asafo areas. It's been 10 years since the last train left here for Takoradi. Since then, this part, which forms the hub of railway activities in Kumasi, has become a haven for criminals. It has also been used as defecation grounds for people. The dream of many of the workers who still maintain these tracks and make sure they stay visible above the weeds is that the railway system is revamped. The challenges that confront the revamping of the railway sector, especially in Ashanti region here, is the development of coaches. Many of the coaches you see are almost dead, gone, forgotten, obsolete. You cannot work with them. It will take money to buy some of these new coaches, and then to also revamp the railway lines to fit the new coaches that will come in. Another issue of concern is encroachment. Along these lines, you see many kiosks, stores, trading activity. A number of people have turned this place into a whole market from here to the railway line at the 18 area at Kejetia to Fumesa to Aswanse quarters, lots of encroachers. So let's find out from the people who live here and who have been living on the tracks for some time what they think of the development of the railway lines and their possible movement in the near future. Now, Sana Uhuno say aban ewo nsusuye se obetimi ayama train asafa habiem na timi edi dwuma.
Oh, sane aban esadia ebeda na se kire se ebla na railway ye adwuma no ne yetade kama na ha so ye neat. Nti se aban na adwun so obeya ama ye de a ene ebeda na se so obeya ama ye.
Well, she said they will be happy because when the trains were working, a business was booming, they could sell around this place and make money. So they will be happy if it will be developed. Now, another chesa was said, Muna be a move to free tracks is to need me a CCH. And no send a mumuhuno.
You are doing it while I do soon. Your dawson tea say, obey my dear, and a senka, obey her baby, Kakramaye. Neja, yes, we stay on Neja, dear, said to me a day, Aquayano, because. Yekunumuni bi na biso wonso a onikunu eno ani na dwuma ya na ye ne modern money ade ntinu se nke so obeye renwe la na mayede a na ye wonya ba bi kakra ma ye ne yetena ho ye adwuma nsa ha ye soja ne ade visa be boy.
Well, she says that they are happy with the idea, but then this is where they make their daily bread. So if they will revamp the sector, they are thinking of relocation. If government will find a place for them before they move them out from this place, they will be happy.
Just a train of boy, and my control room. I hope one film crossing in our Dominiama Beton. I hope also back. I'm a toy idea. So I hunt many veggie.
Well, she is happy with the idea that the whole railway system will be revamped. The trains will work once again here. He says it promotes business because people come in from the hinterland, bring goods and services, and so she's happy with the idea. Now, another stressor was you move on block coin na kosi hey near yan fofro and no say na uhuno.
Jemi who say that I don't know your hano. Ya makwan yan chon niama wo ay say track no that is say nyina ya makwan ya adwuma no ko fom na ma ye nyina betena na nyina bebi e befa na ye afa chese bra ye wo overhead ha say na be overhead no on ma ye tias don be overhead nto butu ye na je ye nyina papa mu betena ha say ti sa na ese ba
je kanene tre wa je na adwuma fo ba papa be didwa mfu kron bebre so be didwa ntene eye
na basa was ye move free ha ko mo be ya was mo tu bia na o mo timi ye adwuma na no sen na mo be hu
pisa se tuni ye adwuma pa de on timi tranya adwuma man ye pisa ha nyina ye real for asase te ba de e bitu ba bia o se ko bia na ya kwa ko pe ba bia tranya adwuma.
I'll see how that goes. And we have business this morning. It's another Wednesday, and so we have AM Business and Sheila Tamaklo and her team. They brought us great business issues for us to discuss. And we know it's a whole of February and March that we've declared the close season for fishing.
Well, before business, that's it for the AM News. We'll come back with the newspapers in a bit. Of course, AM Business is coming up right here on the AM show today because it's a Wednesday. But there's been a little, okay, well, the newspapers will say a big shake-up. Police service will never be the same again. We'll tell you why when we review the newspapers.
Well, it won't be the same in the interim.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
If you've networked with some police commanders, check again. They may not be in the regions.
Well, we'll tell you a lot more about that when we come back from the break and we do the reviews of the newspapers.